Hello, 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 sellers. Come on in, come on in. I'm Kathy Terrell, and I love to be selling. Oh, I'm so excited. I've got such a great money-making tip for eBay sellers, and this works, and it works in many categories, different price points. So I'm excited to share this great tip with you. It was actually when I was sharing with a wonderful eBay seller that I met today at the post office. So that's what got me thinking about this. So come on in, and I can't wait to share it with you. So this is what I was thinking about is what is a surefire moneymaker tip for an eBay seller that a seller, whether you're a new seller or more experienced, and regardless of what category, or they actually call it verticals, just to let you know. So whether I'm in, I'm selling women's clothing or kids clothing, or whether I'm selling home decor, whether I'm selling, I'm trying to think, is that like sporting goods? It's something, it's a tip that will work for me as an eBay seller because we all have very different inventories, and we also live in very different parts of the United States and around the world. So all my wonderful sellers in Canada and UK and Australia and Europe, hello, hello, hello. I'm thinking of you. I also have wonderful seller friends in Puerto Rico, South America. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is what I'm thinking is, first of all, and this is if you've been selling a little bit. So my new sellers, hang tight, I'll get to you, is you'll hear things. This is actually a conversation I was having today with a seller, and the seller's doing very, very well. She's a part-time seller. I was like, congratulations. She's got a wonderful full-time job with benefits that she loves for her family, but she loves the money that she makes selling on eBay. And I said, that's great. And what she was sharing is the different ways that she sources. So she sources from thrift stores, which many people do. She also sources from her own closet. Very wise. And by the way, if you're a new seller, that is the best way to source, is from your own closet. And that's because you're not out any money. And it's the best way to start to find out whether selling on eBay is going to be a fit for you. She's also branched onto what is called retail arbitrage. And if you're not familiar with that term, what that means is you go to a physical store. So you go to a Macy's or a Nordstrom Rack or a TJ Maxx or an outlet store, you buy something and you flip it. Very much like if you watch reality shows on the internet with Flip This House, they buy it, they refurbish it, and they flip it. And she's doing that. I said, well, good for you. And she shared a couple of things that she sold. Well, again, big brands. For her, it was Nike items that she had flipped. And I said, good for you. So this is my first money-making tip. So you're doing retail arbitrage, okay? This could happen in a thrift store too. In fact, it did happen to me once in a thrift store because here in New York City, you have major chains. If I remember correctly, it was Macy's, had donated a huge amount of a certain brand, certain style of an item, and they were brand new with tags. I love this, right? Is that, so I had let's say 10 larges. It was DKNY t-shirts, beautiful, plus size bling, lots of rhinestones and stuff on them, which I love. But I had 10 all the same size. And she had shared that she had picked up several of these really cool Nike shirts from TJ Maxx, all the same size. And this is what I share with you. And certainly tell me what your experience with this is, because I love hearing from my seller friends, is list one at a time. This is my money-making tip for you. And the reason for that is scarcity. It can also work if you're selling on Poshmark and other marketplaces, is one at a time. Because if it's a large, extra large, double X, whatever it is, DKNY or Nike or whatever it is with a really cool pattern and everything, and you've done your research so you know what to charge, and you've done your research so you know what the keywords are, right? Is it a chevron print? Is it plaid? Is it like with bling? They're the rhinestones and it's bling, okay? Because it's a great term to use. It was a short sleeve shirt, so I'm including that. It was a scoop neck. It wasn't a V-neck, okay? So know the different necklines, what they are. And if you don't know, you can search. necklines for women's clothing, right? And you'll see it. Pinterest, by the way, is a great place to find that. In fact, if you go on Pinterest and you look for me, Kathy Terrell, I have women's fashion boards, I also have men's fashion boards. And Pinterest is a great place to do searching for necklines, sleeve styles. You'll notice with dresses and shirts, there's a lot of different sleeves. And people search for it. They search for keyhole neckline, V-neck sweater, crew neck sweater. It is well worth spending 2 minutes to research the style of the sleeve, the style of the neck for clothing. And this is true for home decor too, what the etching style is and everything. So a little bit of research can get you a lot more money. It can also get the items sold faster. Why? Because then the search engines know what you're selling. Google knows what you're selling. eBay knows what you're selling because it's keyhole, scoop, mid-century modern, Edwardian, Victorian, because those are terms that people use to search. But back to my main tip, scarcity. So if you have more than one of the same item and they are an exact match, okay? Same style, same brand, especially when they're new with tags. It's great because you've got, you've got all kinds of numbers on the tags, everything. My advice to you, and let me know what you do when you run into this, is to list one at a time. You sell it. And what's good too is you get an idea of what they sell for, right? Because you sell it. You sell it. It sells for $29.99 free shipping or $29.99. Say that one fast, plus shipping. Then you ship it. Then you click, and this is one of the things that's different on eBay. Click relist. Not sell similar. And I will tell you why. Because you sold it. When you sell something, that's good because eBay goes, oh, this is popular. People like it. Isn't this great? And what you want is you want that data on your listing. Okay. You want eBay to recognize this is that popular, wonderful thing that just sold. And that's why you click relist. Not sell similar, because it carries forth all that juicy data so eBay knows what a desirable item it is. So you are relisting the Nike sweater. You are relisting the Donna Karan, but it needs to be an exact match. So don't get cute on this, okay? It needs to be same size, same brand. I'm hitting my mic. Sorry about that. Same size, everything. Relist, okay? If you want to see if you could get a few more dollars, you can certainly bump up the price. I typically just leave it alone because it's like, boy, let's just get these sold, get the money, especially when you're making good margins, right? It's selling for, $39.99 plus shipping and you bought it for $2. It's like, good, let's keep this moving here. Okay, but click relist. Again, exact same item. And that's what I wanted to share with you is to don't shy away. If you do the search, and when I did the Donna Karan shirts, let me tell you, I sort of gulped a little bit. It was one of my first big buys. It was, I think about 40. It was either 40 or 50. It was a lot. It was a big armload. I literally, put them in my cart. I zoomed up to the front and paid for them because the hang tag on them, oh, that's another quick tip, is beware of the, the siren sound of the hang tag, because the hang tags, if you're not aware of this, it'll say, $129.99, $89.99. And you think, oh, this is a $90, whatever, $129. But typically, especially from the big stores, like with Macy's, very rarely do things sell at full price. They're always priced. So then they can mark them down. Similar to selling on eBay, where you price it because you're going to do best offer, knowing that you'll take 20%, 30% less. Okay. The other thing is, especially if it's a brand new with tags item and it's in a thrift store, and it looks like the store donated it. And the way you know that is as you're going around, you're noticing, first of all, if it's like Macy's generic brand, like Charter Club, you'll notice that there's a lot of Charter Club new with tag donations. So it could be the stores donating it. Other times it is an individual where they just love this stuff. They bought a bunch of stuff and they're moving and they're donating it because they don't want to bring it with them. Okay. But sometimes it's the store. And if the store has donated a bunch of items and they haven't sold, it could be because nobody wants them. So just be careful and do your research on eBay. For me, with the Donna Karan was, it was plus size and, oh, quick. It could be that it doesn't sell in your area. So it doesn't sell in New York, or it doesn't sell in Kansas, or it doesn't sell in Maine, or it doesn't sell in Alabama. But baby, it rocks in Missouri. It rocks in Nevada. So just keep that in mind. And that's why it's so great to have your cell phone with you and to check the solds, because I know black shirts sell. Here in New York, we love black. I'm wearing black. And for whatever reason, maybe they just had an overstock. Maybe they had a promotion. Realize the big stores, they have to move the inventory, okay? There's a clock on the inventory as soon as it hits the floor. And if it doesn't move as quickly as they thought, they just start marking down and or they donate it. So it's not always a statement on the item. It can be a statement of the season, which is no more short sleeve shirts. We only want sleeveless, that kind of thing. But always quickly jump on your phone and check prices, check desirability for brand, color. Okay, so black may rock, but green, you cannot give it away. Okay, check the color, check pattern. Okay, and same thing if you see cool home decor, which is baby, the mid-century modern is rocking it, but for whatever reason, that similar style, from, I'm going to make something up, from the 80s, just like you can't give it away. Okay, so always check period, brand. If you're doing clothing, brand, color. A color is huge. Pattern, another thing that really matters, and size. Because again, you can do a quick thing. You look at solds, there's a bunch of solds, but guess what? All the petites were selling, right? For some reason, or all the triple X. And the one you're looking at is a medium. So check the mediums, check your size. I was actually doing this with a seller the other day. Again, the brand was selling, but the size that the seller had was not selling. The brand was selling in other sizes. So her size may sell, but right now it's not. So what do? You could put it on sale, do a coupon if you've got a store. If you don't have a store, you might want to run in an auction, see if you can sell it that way. Auctions still do work on eBay. So just keep that in mind, which is look at all the details of the item. But my big, big, big tip for you was, if you do come across multi-quantity, same size, okay, so not small, medium, large, not different colors, same size, same colors, same brand, same everything, consider doing scarcity and see if that works for you, which is one at a time, okay? Because if I come along and I see that you've got 3 extra large Nike black shirts, all new attack, all exactly the same, and you've got 3 of them, I go, I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll buy it when I want. Because sometimes I see people do that. And sometimes you see some bigger sellers do it because that's the listing system they have. They list all their inventory at the same time, which is fine. But savvy seller is 1, because then I think, oh, it's the only one she has. It's the only one he has. And then they come and they get it. So it's always that thing of think like a buyer. Okay. And the other thing to think about, so think like a buyer. When you're doing your research, you're always checking all also sleeve length. Sleeve length can really matter, right? Which is they love the long sleeve. For whatever reason, you can't give the sleeveless away. I've gotten nailed on that. Because it's like, oh, this style is so cool. They get it. Yeah, but guess what? That sleeve style doesn't sell. Yes, Christmas sells year round. I just sold a Christmas ornament, as a matter of fact. I was like, Christmas, you're buying Christmas? I love it. And Halloween sells year round. Easter and Passover sells year round. At the same time, being in the United States, being a US seller, just like if you're in UK, if you're in Australia, is like right now, I'm going to date this. This is February 2023. So it's winter, winter, winter. We actually just had a weekend where it was pretty cold. So people are buying chunky sweaters and scarves and hats, all kinds of stuff to keep them warm. Fuzzy slippers, good socks, leggings, lots of leggings because you can layer. But spring is coming. In fact, I talk to people a lot when I'm out and about. I was talking to one guy, actually at the bank when I was doing some banking. who loves to sell on eBay, by the way. He sells sneakers. And he says, well, he and his friends, and I'm looking at him figuring he looks like mid-late 20s, maybe early 30s. He goes, he really likes to think ahead. So he's already buying spring clothing. So yes, 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 it's cold. And yes, 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 I might see some really good winter stuff. And if you do, get it listed now because people are still layering up for winter. And winter will sell year round on eBay because people travel, they're going to colder places, but they're already thinking spring and summer. People are, especially when it gets cold, you're like, oh, I need something to like brighten me up. So the people will start, shopping for Hawaiian shirts and pastels and looking ahead to what the trends are for spring. So as you're listing your winter items, because everybody's bundling up, and all of a sudden the deep freeze hits and you're like, I need some more gloves, is think ahead to St. Patrick's Day is coming. So lots and lots of green. If you've got green unlisted, get it listed. Then we're going into prom season, Mother's Day and Father's Day. So gifts, maybe you're going to want to dress up to go see mom or dad. So be thinking about that. And spring break. So again, spring, summer clothing and travel stuff, right? Because people are going to be traveling if they're doing spring break. So what do people typically need when they're traveling? Is the fanny packs, maybe an extra shoulder tote bag. Hoodies are great. I notice everybody when they're flying, everybody wants to wear hoodies. So when you're listing, when you're sourcing, keep an eye out. Like I always keep an eye out right now, and actually right around Christmas, I do it. Because red and green sells for Christmas, and then red sells for Valentine's Day, also sells for Mom's Day, and green sells Christmas, and then St. Patrick's Day, because people love to wear green for St. Patrick's Day. So always be thinking like a buyer, thinking like a buyer, thinking like a buyer. If you do come across multiple quantity new with tags, yay, do consider doing scarcity. So list one at a time. But when you go to list it again, because typically listings that are up forever and you want to sort of give them some more fresh attention, you might want to end them. And if you're ending a listing that's been up forever and you're looking to get some fresh eyes on it, then you're going to want to hit sell similar. But if an item sells and you are listing the exact same item, you want to hit relist. Okay. And then thinking ahead, because people are shopping for Valentine's Day right now, you're going to hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab this wonderful free guide I have. Oh, so many people have grabbed that. They said the best things, like people are discovering Valentine's Day inventory, things that they had no idea was Valentine's Day inventory and getting sales. So grab my free guide for you. It's Valentine's Day eBay inventory you didn't know you had. Free guide. You will love, love, love it. And I've got some super tips for my eBay seller friends to really expand your sales without having to increase your inventory. So that's going to be my next live stream with you, which will be next week. Everybody have a wonderful week. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And let me know if you do the strategy where if you have more than one new with tag item that is exactly the same size, brand, everything, do you do what I do, which is you list one at a time? Let me know. Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.